Think about doing this for yourself. If you're in a relationship right now, or you can maybe like save this in your mind for when you do get into a relationship. Have a formal conversation where you sit down and you discuss what is the priority of our relationship. What are we not willing to sacrifice for anything? What are we willing to sacrifice everything for? Most people won't even have this conversation, but if they did, it would look something like the guy saying, yeah, sex is probably the most important thing. And the girl would like be offended and she'll say, no, friendship and spending time. And the guy would be like, yeah, he'd curl his legs over. Like, he'd stop manspreading. Friendship and spending time together is really nice. Actually, yeah, you're right. This is how most of the conversations would go if people were having them, but they're not. How the conversation would go between a masculine man and a feminine woman. Well, they'll think, okay, there's only really one thing that we can do for each other, which is transmuting our sexual energy to each other. I'm a masculine man. I can give you this masculinity. You're a feminine woman. You can give me your femininity. Let's merge in the middle. And the greatest act of that is making love. It sounds odd, especially in the modern day. But what if, just what if, the priority of our relationship was sex? Many women would be quite offended at that. Many men won't admit that that's actually what they would prefer. It's unfortunate that women have been brainwashed by feminism to sort of devalue their sex life. It's so strange. Feminism's told them to, be empowered and take off your clothes and post pictures on the internet and go get jobs and be masculine and don't be feminine. Don't be feminine. Even though the movement is called feminism. It's so fucking weird, right? But feminism has plagued your woman's mind or your future woman's mind to think that if you sat her down and said, yeah, I think sex should be the priority, making love should be the priority of our relationship, she might see it as like an insult. When you have a good feminine woman who's too intelligent for these, like the feminism brainwashing, she'll understand. And actually, if you sit down and intelligently discuss things, you talk about your boundaries or expectations of the relationship, of kind of your like mutual agreement together. There's only really one thing that you guys can do together better than everything else, right? Because when it comes to friendship, if you're not bullshitting yourself, you being friends with a masculine man is going to be better than you being friends with your feminine woman. Don't bullshit yourself. Many men and many women bullshit themselves, especially women these days. Women will convince themselves like, oh, but I just get along better with guys. No. She will get along better with feminine women if she's a feminine woman herself. You will undoubtedly get along better with masculine men if you are a masculine man yourself. So to have your relationship as just friendship, we're like best friends. If anything, it's like all you're doing is choosing to have a worse friend than what you normally would have. Sure, you can giggle and laugh, but it's like as a masculine man, your friendship is not just catered towards like the giggles that you can have with your girlfriend, but rather it's like brotherhood that will get you to your goals and to your mission and that will develop your character. So if you're a masculine man, you'll be friends with a masculine man. But in the modern world, like you're seen as like an evil person if you end up saying like, yeah, I don't really want to be friends with like my girlfriend. It kind of makes sense that like our relationships should revolve around making love.